name is Stephanie, and I'm going to speak with you about the pre-installation property assessment form. You'll find this on our website, leakdefensesystem.com, and this typically is filled out by the plumber. However, as a homeowner, you may find it interesting and you may be able to fill in some of the information yourself. As a plumber filling out the form, we want to know where is the system going to be installed. We want to know who's going to install it, so please fill out the top section. We also want to know where is it going to be installed. Our preference is that you would install it in an indoor protected location. We don't want it getting wet and we don't want it in direct sunlight. So identify on the form indoor or outdoor. Is it going to be city water or well water? This is critical. Many times well equipment sits inside the basement. You may have holding tanks, pumps, other equipment, filtration systems, and we need to know what is present and how are we going to accommodate them. So identify if it's city or well water. On the form, we also ask, what size are you going to install? This isn't necessarily what is the pipe size coming in from the street, but it is where you're going to attach the valve to the plumbing system. What is the size at that location? We have sizes from 3/4 of an inch up to 3 inches, so we can accommodate small homes and commercial buildings. And so being very specific, is it 3/4 of an inch, 1 inch, 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches, 2, 2.5, or 3? We really need to know the size to provide to you. So identify that on the form. We also want to know, how is it going to be installed? Is it going to be horizontal or vertical? We need to know the direction water is flowing to prepare the system for you. We also want to know, are there secondary structures that are receiving water that happens to pass through the house out to them? So if you have a pool house, a guest house, some other structure, please identify that and let us know. Is it on the same supply that feeds the house, or is it on a separate supply? In the second section, we're going to speak about water features that are on the home. They may have an irrigation system, pool or pond, or perhaps a fire suppressant system. Please take a look at this section, and what we really want to find out is, are they on the house supply side or are they separate from the house? If they're on the house supply side, that's okay. We have accommodations for them. But ideally, we'd like to separate most of the items listed in this section from the house feed. And that way water can flow freely to them as needed, and then we can reduce the length of time that water is going to run in the house. Let's talk about the control panel and the power supply that we're going to need for the valve and for the control panel. We want to make sure that we can plug in the leak defense system to an outlet. Ideally, it's close by where the valve is going to be installed, not a switched outlet, non-GFI. And then for the control panel, you can position it just about anywhere around your home, but it does need to be plugged into power. Let's take a look at the lower section of the assessment form. There are many items listed here. They all typically are drawing water, and we want to know if they're present for a variety of reasons. You'll notice the first item on the left side is expansion tank, and right below that are hot water heaters. The reason we've listed those is because earlier on in the assessment form, we have requested that you include a spring check valve when installing the leak defense system. When you close the water line with a spring check valve, you need thermal expansion capability. And so if they don't have an expansion tank on their gas hot water heater, they should have one added when installing the leak defense system and adding a spring check valve. There are some other items that we want to make sure you're thinking about how to best accommodate them. If they have a boiler, identify if there's a low water cutoff. If they have a recirculation pump, how is it on their home? Is it hardwired? Does it have a timer? Can they switch it off when they go on vacation? We ask about this because we want to make sure items that may be without water, if the leak defense shuts the water off, they're protected and won't have an issue because they're lacking water. A few other items listed in that lower section would be humidifiers. Why do we ask about humidifiers? Well, if it's a steam humidifier, water comes on and off quickly. But if it's evaporative, water can run for lengthy periods of time, And we don't want that flow into the humidifier to cause the leak defense to alarm. And so if they have several of these on the home, we want to know about it, and then we can help you adjust the settings during those dry, cold months to accommodate the humidifiers. We also ask about water filtration equipment and softeners. These are really important because if the leak defense system is going to be on the inlet side of these items and detecting flow through them, that means when they regenerate, we'll be detecting that as well. And if the leak defense system is in the away setting, then it may alarm because of the regeneration cycle. And so identify for us, where is the leak defense in relationship to the water filtration system or softener? Something else to consider in this section would be the auto ice machines and the reverse osmosis system on the right-hand side. Why are we asking about these? Well, if they have a refrigerator ice maker, we're not really concerned about it because it's only going to call for water occasionally for very short periods of time. But if they have some automatic ice machines, they will probably pull water for about 5 minutes or longer pretty regularly. So we want to make sure in that away mode, we've programmed it to accommodate that ice machine. Also, if they have a reverse osmosis system in their kitchen or perhaps a whole house system, please indicate that on the form. Ideally, we want the leak defense system to not monitor those kind of items, but many times we can't avoid them. And so if they have an RO on their home, we want to program around the time to alarm. That takes care of it. Here are the next steps. As a plumber, we'd like you to fill out the assessment form. Send it to us either by email or fax. We'll take a look at it. If we have questions, we'll reach out to you. We'll provide a quote, and then you're going to provide payment. We'll ship it to you or to your customer, whichever you prefer. Once you install the system, we'd like you to give us a call. We've got technical support, and we'll walk you through any programming questions. And that's it as a plumber. As a homeowner, we'd like to help you through the process of getting a leak defense system installed in your home. We would like to speak with your contractors, plumber, electrician, security technician, whoever's needed to get the work done. We'll speak with them and coordinate the process for you. Once we receive all the details on the assessment form, then we'll provide a quote to you to approve. We'll ship the system to you or your plumber, whichever you prefer. The plumber will then schedule a time to install the system, and on the day of the installation, we'll have him reach out to our technical support team, and they will walk him through the process of programming the system. Down the road, should you need additional assistance, our technical support line will be available to help you. We look forward to walking you through this process.